Morning everyone, it's a beautiful day on the farm and Joaquin and Alexandre have just turned up to help us fix the fence. So in our last video we started making this fence that goes around our house, but we weren't able to finish it because we had some concreted posts and we were just waiting for the concrete to dry so that we could finish off the rest. This is actually going to be kind of like the start of the fence, so where the wire goes, where all of the tension goes. And because of that, it has to be really strong. So we had to put these in the ground with concrete. So we're going to be using this stuff here. This is like a really strong type of fencing. It's much thicker than the regular sheep fencing. So it's pretty heavy stuff. It's actually rated for cattle and also for wild boars and things like that. So we're going to put this up. So if you didn't watch last week's video, basically we are building a fence around the farmhouse, and the reason why we're doing that is because we have a very naughty livestock guardian dog that loves to go adventuring. He loves to just run off if we're not watching him. So we want something here to try and keep him in. And this regular stuff over here, this is sheep fencing. It's quite flexible, it's quite thin wires, it's quite flexible. He can very easily stick his nose underneath here and lift it up. He can also quite easily jump over it, and so we need to stop that, which is why we've got this much stronger stuff over here. Okay, so they've basically just attached it around this pole over here, and it's actually quite nice because it's such thick, strong stuff. It's kind of standing up on its own. When I was making this fence over here, I had to really try and stretch it to try and get it to go along. As you can see now, it's still quite loose again. But I don't think we're going to have that problem with this stuff because it's already so firm. So to tension it, looks like they're going to use the tractor. It looks like they're going to put a piece, they're going to put this thing through the fence and clamp it using another top piece. And then they've got little screws to hold it into place. And what that's going to do is it's going to hold the fence evenly while they pull it out using the tractor, and then it can be nailed on. This is just attached to the bucket of the tractor and then to this thing over here. And Joaquin's going to slowly start going forwards and pull it out. Okay. That's nice and tight now. Yeah, that's definitely much easier than when I made the sheep fence without a tractor tensioning it. That's definitely got it nice now. Well, this is very cool. It's starting to take shape. I'm getting the first glimpse of what it's going to look like to have this fence go around the house. Now, obviously, all of these have to be nailed in, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. We got these poles a little bit short, so you can see the wires going all the way up to the top. But yeah, that was a mistake that I made, that I got the poles too short for the actual fencing. But I think this will be quite nice. This is definitely going to stop our dog. And you can see that the wires sort of come up to about shoulder height here. Now, Eddie's a big dog. He can actually put his feet up on my shoulders and have his face in my face if he wants to. But that means that he's just going to have his head up here. I don't think he's going to be able to jump over. I think if anything, we have to watch out for the bottom, for where he can get under. So I think something like this is going to have to be reinforced. The reason why there is this lift here is because we've had to put concrete on these two posts. So yeah, I'll get something to fix that in a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, going along here, it's nice, flush to the ground. And hopefully in time, all of the weeds and everything will grow into it and it'll make a nice barrier. Yeah. Okay. Cool, so from this side you can see we started over there. This is the corner piece. This is why we have to have these strong corner pieces, because as you saw with the tractor, when you start to put tension on it, if that was just a regular pole sticking up there, it would have just pulled it straight out. Gina's going to be very excited when she gets back. She's just popped into Castelo Branco to do a little bit of grocery shopping. But yeah, when she gets back, she's going to be able to see the start of the fence. And she's been desperate for this fence because it's really difficult to, look after Eddie every time we let him out, and if he like runs off and then we have to go and find him and stuff. So yeah, she's very excited for that. So this is going to be a little bit more complicated because we've got a couple of the vines in the way. We obviously want the fence to go along the ground, but then we've got these raised bits where the vineyard are. Hey, there's Gina now. She's just pulling up. Let's go and find her quick. Hello, hello. Hello. It's all happening.
Yay. And we got sustenance as well.
We got sustenance. Let me get some of these bags out the car. Oh wow, she went for a big shop. Nice. Cool, so they're just tightening up this side again so they can pull with the tractor, make everything all nice and tense along this line over here. But I just need to make sure that I dig in these trenches here so that the wire is as close to the ground as possible, because obviously when it starts to go over these things here, I mean, we've actually got a vine in the way. I'm going to have to take this one out. But yeah, we need to make sure that Eddie can't get his nose under. He is super naughty, and yeah, if he can get his nose under, he's going to start to dig and then he's going to be gone. This is definitely the right time of year to be doing this, because the ground is all nice and soft. Right, so we've managed to get the vine out over here, and the fence is nice and flush with the ground here. There's a couple of little gaps, but it's not the end of the world. Joaquin's just about to start tensioning again, and let's just make sure that we don't pull it too tight and rip the poles out the end there. Right, let's just go and have a look at what's happening over here. The chickens are on the wrong side of the fence. What are you doing over there, chickens? Pretty soon you're not going to be able to go out there anymore. I'm just a little bit worried because probably in the next hour or two we're going to have fence going all the way around here, and then how are we going to get you back in? Well, I'm going to ask Gina and see if she can try and herd them back in another way. Maybe we should lock them up for now just so they don't get stuck out. Excellent. So we're going to lose a little bit of our vineyard, only a small corner. As you can see, the fence sort of comes up to about there. This is the vineyard going down here in this direction. So to get a nice straight line, we're going to have to get rid of these vines. I mean, we obviously aren't going to get rid of all of them, because like the vines that go along this part here are going to mesh into the fence quite nicely. Just the ones that are over here we're going to get rid of, but the ones that are closer to the fence and everything, we're going to let them grow along the fence line and add nice greenery along there. We can see if we can try and transplant a couple of them, although I'm not entirely sure that's going to work, because they're very deep. I mean, I don't even know how many meters the roots go down, but if we were to try and dig them up, we would only have a couple of the roots, and then when you transplant them back into the ground, let's say if we move them down there, by the time the summer comes and it's boiling hot, I don't know if the roots are going to be deep enough, but we can give it a try. But for now, I'm not so worried about that. We're going to see if we can get this this fence all done up today, and the landscaping part, well, that's going to have to wait. I see she's herding some of the chickens back in. Gina, are you the chicken whisperer?
Chicken herder.
Are you the chicken herder?
No.
Come on, chickens. Chicks. We're just having to do a little bit of trimming. Obviously the poles are here and we've got some of these vines in the way. But don't worry, vines grow incredibly fast. You'll see all of this will grow back super quick. And it's only really this time of year when there's no leaves on the vines that, it's quite noticeable. But as soon as the spring and the summer comes, this whole thing's just going to be green, thick, bushy, and tons of grapes. So we're just joining two pieces of fence together because the 50 meters of fence ended over here. Now we've got a new roll over here, and they're just wrapping them together to try and join and make one piece. It's really thick wire as well, so it's very difficult to twist it and bend it. It's not like the regular sheep fencing. And there we have it, the connection. It's going to be pretty much as strong as the wire itself. Obviously we don't want to pull it too hard with the tractor, but yeah, that should definitely do the job. Oh, like this. So we're going to have a big tractor gate just over here. It's around 3 meters, this gap. So they're just like what they did on this side, where they get to the end of the wire, they wrap it round and then they twist it, and it's all nice and done. They're just doing the same on this side, so we have a nice tight connection. And as I said earlier, we've got this bracing over here to give it more strength. And on the other end, the tractor, they're going to pull it again, and then we nail it on. Probably not a good idea to stand in front of rope under tension. Right, okay, so it looks like we got it there. There we go. Yeah, without this tractor there would be no way that we could tension it like that. Cool, it's starting to take shape nicely. So this side just has to be tapped on, and yeah, it's a boa. Yeah, it's looking good. So this is going to be where the other gate is. Rockin's just coming through there now. This is the last little bit of fence that we're doing. We've got up to this corner. So yeah, I think he's just going to fetch the rest of the wire. Because this is really thick wire, it weighs a lot. Rockin's just saying that the fence looks good. Yeah, it does. It actually does look good. And, you know, I was worried about it blocking the view, but look, it doesn't really block the view. You can still see straight through it. That's not too bad. Yeah, and I'm sure once the garden has sort of grown a little bit, like when the spring comes, we're obviously going to plant some stuff along there, plant some trees along that line. I think it's going to look amazing. Jeez. It's amazing how quickly you use up these 50-meter rolls of wire. Alright, so this is the last piece that has to be pulled by tractor by the looks of it. So here it goes. Make sure these are straight. Yeah, this makes a huge difference, having a tractor pull this. So we're just untensioning the wires, and then we can tie them off. So this is the last pole, and we couldn't get this on the ground the other day because it was so high up. So Joaquin's actually standing on his tractor now, and he's going to sledgehammer it in. and hopefully it's not going to hit these water pipes. And I'm sure we would have heard something if that had happened. Now, I wasn't entirely sure what we were going to do for gates. I thought we were going to get some kind of like aluminium gates, but Joaquin's making he's making a gate now out of some poles and some wire. So I'm not entirely sure that these are going to do the job, because obviously, you know, Eddie's very good at escaping. But let's see if it works. Obviously, if it does work, it's a nice cheap way of doing it. But I'm not sure how we're going to be able to secure it around here and stop Eddie from escaping. But Joaquin is ingenious, and he always comes up with good ideas. So let's see what happens. Ah, saúde!
Saúde. Exata, tinha tirado há 2 ou 3 dias, vim aqui, a carrinha ficou ali enterrada.
Alright, so I think we've reached the end. The gates are done. They're not, you know, they're obviously not like big aluminium gates or anything, but they're going to do the job. Basically, they've got a little clip over here, so you just lift up the clip and then you can walk your way through. It's got a little piece over there just to tie the pole in. And if you want to get a tractor through, then these poles come out and the whole thing opens up. So it's cheap, cheerful, does the job, and it looks pretty good. I'm quite impressed. Slow down. Eddie, come here. You alright? Come here. Is your face alright? You ran straight in there with your neck. You smacked into that, boy. Jeez, I'm going to have to put another pole here. And I came down here, I was actually pushing it down with my feet.
But that fence, that post is leaning now, so it needs to be reset. I mean, he hit that like
well, we just have to go to the other side and back it.
Yeah.
And I think I'll put another pole in here anyway. Just because this is not straight.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you think that's where Mimo hit it?
Oh, maybe. Did she hit it as well?
Well, they both came running down. They were both side by side as they ran down here.
Yeah, this morning, because I was looking thinking, geez, that fence is wobbling. And then I saw that and I was like, that's an Eddie shaped.
Yeah. Eddie! Eddie snuck into the fence!
I'm going to take him for a walk, but if it's foggy, I won't bother.
Eddie! Come here! What's this? What's this?
Okay, I head-fired that.
What's
probably
this?
like damaged his spine and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean he really hurt himself, so you should have heard the noise. Because they were running down like that. And then you hear the and then it was like this horrible noise. I think Mimo hit here.
We can see what it's done to that.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
look, that was.
Like 40 and
Yeah,
then there's a Mimo shaped one
and,
there.
and look at this pole.
Because they were running.
Gene has actually come and
God.
packed it up again. I mean, he knocked it straight out. But look at that dent, dude.
Yeah, man.
And this is strong. I mean, feel
Full pelt, yeah.
how strong this stuff is.
I
Huh?
wonder if you'll have to pour some cement in there.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple more
We're gonna
poles.
put
I'm going to put another
post
pole
in.
there.
Yeah, good idea.
Fingers.
Give his nose a hammer while you're there.
It was bouncing off it. Yeah, so like if there are weak spots in the fence, it's like $3 a post. And we just add more posts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if there's points where you can lift, then you add more posts.
I mean, once they grassed it's great. It's only going to be the next month or so.
Yeah.
And then the grass will be higher on the outside anyway, and he won't.
Yeah.
Remember?
I went running out last night again at high speed. I'm like, oh no, and then he like stopped. I think he might have forgotten. Nemo wants to